Hey, good morning, Jules. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you doing today, Tim?
I'm doing great, doing great. Trying to get ready to take a little break and go on my 50th class reunion, and I haven't been to any.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
It's gonna be, I'll have some stories, I'm sure, when I get back.
I've never been to any of my class reunions either, so maybe I'll wait and go to my 50th also,
Might as well wait till 50.
right?
It'll be a lot smaller group of people to talk to.
This is true.
Well, good morning and welcome to the call today. I want to thank you and National Real Estate Insurance Group for being a trusted vendor of the West DFW REI Group, and we look forward to working with you. Um, National Real Estate Insurance Group has been around for many years. You're new to the group, but I've been working with you for quite a few years. I don't even know how long it's been, but it has been probably, I would guess, 5 or 6, maybe longer. I'm not really sure now. I'm gonna have to go look. But as you know, it's very, very important to me that our vendors are what I call our trusted vendors, and they pass my grandmother's rule, and they take good care of our members. In
Yes.
our grandmother's rule is my grandmother's rule is that if I send my grandmother to you to do business with you, that you're going to treat her the right way, giving her this product and service and the pricing and stuff that I would expect without me having to say anything. The last thing I want is a call from grandma at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, what's up with this? Why did you send me to this person? So
Yeah.
our all of our vendors are that way, and that's one reason why those vendors have been with us a long time. Those that don't play along nicely don't stay with us long. So we look forward to working with you. But can you tell the audience, and the audience today could be a member of the group, but it could be a visitor to the website that's looking for an insurance provider for their investment property. But can you tell the audience a little bit about who you are, how long you've been in the business, and what you do and what you offer to our members, please?
Sure. My name's Jules Snedden. I'm the Executive Vice President of Sales and Marketing at National Real Estate Insurance Group. I have been in the insurance industry off and on pretty much since 1992 in differing roles, contents, coverage, property and casualty, fire and flood restoration, CAT teams, for on the insurance preferred side. Um, you know, in differing roles all the way across in insurance in some way since 1992. I'm
Oh,
a
wow.
mother.
Wow.
Yeah. So I actually started even younger than that. My mom was in the insurance industry. So when I was 8 years old, I went on my first fire loss with her. Um, that's just kind of a thing. I'm a mother of 8 children, 11 to 32 years old. I've been married for 25 years to my husband. And I believe in the importance of educating folks on insurance. It's something that a lot of the time, we don't read our policy, we don't understand what's in our policy. And so part of what we want to do as NREG is we want to come alongside your group and be a value add. So in other words, we want to be able to come in, educate, answer questions, help members, and earn their business by being that person, that group, that trusted partner that you can call Jules. Jules is going to answer. Jules's team is going to answer and is going to get back to you. And so we offer everything from liability to property to contents to tenant protection plan, terrorism, flood, you name it. We pretty much offer it all. We have a lot of folks recently that have what we would call more of a mixed portfolio. So we have some that have maybe they have a hotel, maybe they have a commercial property, maybe they have an apartment, and then they have 5 or 6 single family dwellings. We can have folks that have maybe Airbnbs and apartments. So we pretty much can help everyone and anyone out there. And if we can't, then we're going to make another program in order to help. So that's just kind of who we are and what we do is we're here to be those folks that when you can't figure it out anywhere else, come to me and let me see what I can do to help.
Cool, cool. So being in the industry so long, do you have dreams about insurance or nightmares?
So I have nightmares about fire losses. When I lived in California, I grew up in Southern California, lived there for 40 years. And so my nightmares are wildfires
I'll bet.
and yeah, and fire losses where somebody left their curling iron on or a candle. I had a whole family that passed away from a candle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
How
those
about
are
how
my
about
nightmares.
how about those massive landslides right now? Just sliding away.
Well, and that is from, we'll have wildfires or we'll have something like that. And then we'll have massive amounts of rain and
Yep.
then there's nothing to hold on to it. So,
Goes through the cycle every year, don't it?
yep, it's silly, ridiculous, but here we are.
You did good. You moved out.
Yes, in 2020, in May of 2020, our whole entire family moved to Kansas City, and we absolutely love it here. And all of our kids moved, even our adult kids, and then
Wow.
another like 30 people moved with us. So 30 families ended up moving too.
So California had a population drop.
Yes, a very large one. Not just us, but yeah, we got out. So, and
Right.
we do not regret it. We love living in the Midwest. I'm
Yeah.
originally from Wahoo, Nebraska.
Yeah.
So, coming
Cool.
back to my
Cool.
roots.
Well, welcome to the Eastern or Mid-Eastern, I guess, to where you're at now. So you kind of said it already, but let me ask it a different way. How can our members benefit from using NREIG?
I would say that there's several different ways. One way is you can call us and say, hey, I'm thinking about buying this property and I want to know what the insurance is going to cost on this property. And so can I get a proposal for this property that I'm considering buying? Because that a lot of the time can affect your bottom line, right? It also can affect and sometimes folks don't realize this, when we're going and we're purchasing, that's part of what the lender takes into consideration as part of, your ability to pay is, taxes and insurance. And so that's something that we do. We do free proposals all the time. Additionally, we do month-to-month billing. And I find that that's something that's very helpful if you're somebody who does flips or BRRRs, or even if you're someone who does a hold, but you, buy and hold, but you decide all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to renovate this place. Well, instead of having to get a new policy, you can just change your status with us anytime within the month. And so I find that that's a value add. That's something that benefits your members. It saves their capital. If there's someone who's renovating and they don't want to put out, $1,200 cash, and instead they would like to pay $100 a month because maybe they don't need it for a whole year, that's something that is a good thing. The other thing is my folks are very educated when it comes to listening to what your risk, what kind of risk appetite you have or your group has. So we want to know, do you have an appetite for risk? Should we be offering you more of a basic form, actual cash value? Or or you have no appetite for risk and should we be giving you a special form replacement cost value? So they're going to sit there and ask you all of those questions. You did say that I'm new to the group. So one thing I would like to point out is we don't do inspections, but we do have an underwriting process that we do. Previously, they would email out that process, but now we do it over the phone. So that's something that I have found that our clients appreciate more. As an investor, I bought my first home when I was 18 years old for $25,000, sold it 4 or 5 years later for $175,000. And as a family, we own, 30 or so properties. I don't want to answer 66 questions on an Excel file. I would much rather talk to someone over the phone for a half an hour, 45 minutes and answer those questions. So that's something additional that we've been working on over the last 8 months.
Okay.
Um,
The other thing to go right along with that is how important it is for them, even once they have that initial proposal, is to make sure they go back through it again just before closing. It just happened to me this week. I submitted my proposal online.
mhm.
And for the viewers here, we have a link that will be down below if you're on YouTube or over to your right on if you're looking at it on our group webpage. But I've got my proposal, and I submitted it based on what I knew at the time. I went to the house the other day, and the seller come in and took the shed and didn't tell the agent, the listing agent. And
Uh-oh.
and it's probably a little bit of a unique scenario. It's a probate deal, and it was the heirs, the executor that decided he wanted the shed and didn't think it was a big deal. So as I'm doing my final review of that proposal, I'm saying, wait a minute, this detached shed, there's $1,000 coverage there, there's no shed.
Yeah. So
So,
that's important for you to let us know so we can remove that and lower your premium.
right. It's important to keep your eyeballs on it, just before closing to make sure nothing has changed at all. So, yep, that was a good one. That was one I've never seen before. Somebody just come in and take the shed.
That's a new one on me. I mean, in my family, all my kids are realtors or investors, so
Oh,
we see
wow.
quite a bit. Yeah. Um, so in that kind of a scenario, I'm glad that you were able to reach out to your CSA and just know that, I'm going to give you guys my personal number. And if there's ever an issue, I want them to feel like they can contact me as the EVP of Sales and Marketing, and that we're going to take good care of you.
Okay.
And help you understand your policy. Sometimes it helps if they send over the policy that they currently have also, because we'll notice, oh, you have co-insurance. And sometimes the homeowner doesn't even know, the landlord doesn't even know what co-insurance is.
Right.
And so that's been something I've seen kind of over and over again recently that's been kind of scary.
Yeah, and you'd made a comment earlier about a lot of times investors or people in general don't want to read their policy or don't read it. Can you really blame them for not wanting to read all that legal mumbo jumbo stuff? I mean, lawyers have their way of putting you to sleep quickly or hurting your head, one of the two.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is I had a tree land on my house recently in May, and we're 3 months out. But I'll tell you what, if I hadn't read that policy ahead of time, I wouldn't have gone in and added in asbestos. And I had them add that in about 3 years ago. And thankfully I did, because that tree just fell on my house and I have $87,000 in asbestos removal that I have to get done.
Wow.
So $250,000 total, but 87,000 of that is asbestos. Now, if I wouldn't have read that policy, I wouldn't have known that that wasn't included. So I had to add an endorsement to it to make sure, because I knew the age of my home. They
Nice.
inspected my home, so just knowing what your rights and your responsibilities are,
Yep.
that's important. And
That,
that's
that's
what
a,
I'm here for.
that's a big hazmat issue today, that's for sure. So,
Oh, tell me about
okay.
it.
So, a little bit different question. What made you decide? What got you interested in becoming a vendor partner with the West DFW REI Group?
Well, I am traveling the country right now, meeting with REI groups, because what we have seen is that a lot of the time, what's missing is that rapport and that relationship being built with those vendors and with prospective clients. And so I want to be able to come out and for you and your folks to know, hey, Jules really does come out. She comes and sees us. She answers our questions. Her group takes good care of us. And I think that also the education piece, the more that I'm seeing of this co-insurance where folks are getting a lower premium, a much lower premium than what they they're not realizing that with that premium comes this coinsurance penalty. And so that's something that made me go, you know what? I think that I need to get out there and get with these groups and just show them, hey, it's okay if you have that appetite for risk, but it's not okay if your agent is not explaining that to you and you're not properly insuring your investment how you want it to be insured, you know?
And
So
there's so many people that don't understand insurance. I mean, it's a big animal. There's a lot to it, and there's a lot of options. So there's a lot of new investors that just say, "Oh, I need insurance," and
absolutely.
they,
I need insurance and I need the cheapest and the fastest,
right,
except for when I suddenly have a vandalism or water damage and I didn't read my policy and I didn't realize it's not included in the policy. Or my tenant gets in there and they accidentally start a fire in the house and oh my gosh, I didn't have tenant protection plan, or I didn't, I didn't have the right insurance. So now I'm taking a 50% hit on co-insurance.
yep,
So I get it because like I told you, we're investors, we're business people personally. And also that's what NREG is for. We started just for the investor, making sure that that investor had exactly what they need when they need it.
right. So we're just about done here. What's the best way for a member or anybody viewing this video to reach out to you or NREG? How can they get in touch with you? What's easiest?
You can email me at jules@nreig.com. That's jules@nreg.com. You also can always just call me, text me, or email me. My phone number, 816-878-1294. That's 816-878-1294. A lot of the time folks are like, I can't believe you're giving us your number. I'm like, well, guess what? That means I can take care of you and make sure that our team is on top of it, getting everything handled. And then you can know that you can get a hold of me anytime you need to.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a big plus because there's so many companies you can't get a hold of, not just insurance, but others. So, and for those that are watching this video, down below, if you're on YouTube, you'll find Jules' contact information down below this video. Or if you're on the group website, you're going to see it to your right on the screen there. So you can, if you missed this in the video, you can follow up with Jules then. So, Jules, I think that's just about it. Is there anything else that you want to throw in there and help the members with? Anything that they should know?
No, I think that there is Sean's book that he has. I think it's called Innovating Insurance by Sean Woodle, Woedl. And when I come out there in October, I'm going to bring some of his books for them
Oh, nice.
give away. So we'll be bringing those out, and I think that that'll be a good way for you guys to get to know insurance a little bit better. He's funny, and so that helps when you're reading. It's not so dry.
Well, it
It's
helps with insurance, that's for sure.
right because it can be so boring.
Yep. Yep. Well, Jules, I think that's a wrap. It's been great talking to you. I think you provided some great information for the viewers. And certainly, Michelle and I certainly look forward to seeing you in October. And for those that miss you, hopefully we're going to have it all on video anyhow and post it on our group calendar event. So look forward to seeing you in October.
Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.